that got me back into horses. I grew up on horses, learned to ride on a donkey, bareback, because my dad said, learn to ride bareback and then I'll get you a saddle. So we learned to ride bareback, and then he says, you don't need a saddle now. So, never learned to really ride well in a saddle. Ride pretty good bareback, but I usually don't get bucked up bareback. But I can't tell you how many times I've gotten bucked up in the saddle, because I don't feel the connection. And this guy, he's done it a number of times. So I had a colt that died, got encephalitis when he was a baby, and he was my first colt, and I said, horses don't exist for me anymore. I wouldn't look at them, I wouldn't ride them, I was just like this, no horses. So I played softball for 15 years, went from leisure to competitive. My husband coached us, and kept us so busy. Our life was consumed with softball. And then I was in an accident in '95, and my car got hit front and back and was crunched. And since I was a belly dancer, they didn't believe that I was hurt, because dancers, you know, you perform through pain and you don't show it. And so they got a picture of my performance clear in California and said I wasn't hurt. So they wouldn't help me. And I got to where I couldn't move, and I got really depressed. And so guess what my husband did? He took me to an auction. It was a killer auction. And we got Cricket for $210. And we healed together, and I loved on him, and I hugged on him, and he got tougher and pushier and tougher and pushier. And I got wimpier, but I got well. And he was the toughest horse I've ever had my whole entire life. And he's pretty much retired now, but I have performed on him, riding bareback and bridleless, rode him with my wings, rode him at the Larimer County Fair and at ballet on horseback and several different venues. And until the last time when he said, I'm done, and he left me. So I said, okay, he's retired. So when I put another horse in, and he sees, wow, that horse is really performing well. I better perform. Otherwise, he just kind of sticks his nose up. So while I was talking, I was greeting him and letting him know, you know, how are you doing today? And I actually wasn't just standing there. I was connecting with my horse. Sometimes it looks like you're just standing there, but all you have to do is hang out with your horse, and you can create a wonderful bond. Okay? Oh, shoot, I forgot any treats, so you're going to have to wait. Sorry. So when I went through Pirelli, we did everything with a stick, and he got to where, unless I had a stick in my hand, I was mud pie. And so, let's see how he does today. Without a stick. Now I very seldom use a stick, but he knows that it's there, just in case I need it. He's 15, and going through the Pirelli system with one horse was very, very hard on him. And so he's a little stiff and arthritic, and I would never recommend that to anybody, to go through the whole Pirelli system with one horse. And a lot of people, it took 2 or 3 horses. And there's things that they do that are great, and there's things that they do that are not so great, just like every trainer. Okay, so I need a little more response. So you see what my body's doing. I'm like right there with him, okay? I'm like helping him around, pulling him back into me. Can you dance for him? Can you dance? He's the one that taught me that horses can dance. And I had asked him to do something, and he said, what if I do this? And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. So I try to teach all my horses to do that now. You can see there's a little bit of energy difference between horses. So I have to help this a little bit. So I'm not just like a bump on a log here. I'm like, I'm going to help you just like I would if I was on his back, just because he seems to need that. The other one, I got to help him slow down a little bit. He comes in really close when he wants to quit.
So you mentioned that there's difference in energy. Do you, is that just the breed we're talking, or what's your opinion?
Yes. The breed, the quarter horse is more solid, but you know, Cricket's always been a little bit lazy. He was either like, I'm gonna kill you, or I don't feel like it today. So he definitely has a mindset on, I want to do it, or I don't want to do it. And if he really doesn't want to do it, there's no way he's gonna do it. So he's quite a guy, though. I love him to pieces. And as you can see, he really does love me. I was a little slow. All of my horses come to get me. And when I get on the rail and there's a bunch of them, and I don't want to stretch, I want him right here, because he taught me that if I stretch and he steps away, I get hurt really, really, really bad. Thank you. I'm sorry I don't have a treat. So, here's my neck rope. You can see how I can get him to step over. You can see also how slow he is compared to Zorro. He has a better side. So with him, I might have a little more enforcement here. I don't do a lot of spins just because I see so many cowboys do them, and I heard they only have so many spins. So as slow as Cricket is, I could do a million. My energy comes up. He knows that I have this. I don't have to have it, but when he knows that I have it, just that little bit. See how light I'm asking him with this neck rope? Then if I want to go sideways, then I'll bring in my leg. I don't need the rope. I've done a lot of performing with nothing on him. Am I putting you to sleep yet, guys? Let's see if you'll do this. Oh, geez. I gotta have my head.
So he was just responding to your...
Just my fingers. Come get me again.
Glad to see you're in such a hurry, bud.
Yeah.
One more. So see, when I asked him, my reinforcement was the kiss.
What percentage of this that you're doing is the Pirelli training?
The games?
Yeah.
Are all the games are Pirelli on the ground. On the back is a lot of Aton Bethelachmi, and Manuel Trigo. Manuel Trigo made me ride with a glass of water in each hand. He says, you're balancing on your reins. And I said, no, I'm not. And I hate it when somebody says that when I'm working with them and they say, no, I'm not. But I wasn't. And he says, all right, take these 2 glasses of water. So I did, and I rode my Rocky Mountain horse that it was in training. I rode him around the arena. And it looked like I was balancing. And I'm balancing somewhere, but I think it's right here. Because I come down into my core and I connect with the horse. And when I get on, I want to think about my connection. My core is connected to the horse, through his legs, through to the center of the earth. Does that answer your question, Dan? With him, when I learned to feel his legs, I would get in that small round crawl. He loves to stand in front of people. And I would put my hands on him, and I'd close my eyes, and I would just feel each leg, and when he would do a turn, and I'd giggle. So he'd do another turn, and I'd giggle. And so everything turned into a game with us. It was like he liked it when I was having fun, and I liked it when he was with me. So I'm going to bring my energy up. So my hips are doing this, right with the horse. It's just a little tiny movement, just like this. Okay? So if you can watch, I don't know if you can see it or not. They're just barely moving with my horse. A little bit forward and back, and then they drop when his body drops. Jeez. Did you say stop? Okay. Whoa. Let's get some energy going, buddy. So, little trot. My legs are not moving. My upper body is just bouncing because he is bouncing. But my butt, as you can see, does not leave him. It's doing what he does. Does anybody have any questions on that?
Are your calves in contact when you're just...
They're just hanging. I am not gripping with my legs because I'll show you. Jeez. Watch when I grip with my legs, okay? So I'm just trotting. Now when I grip, he's gonna move, and my whole body stiffens up and I bounce. So if I loosen up my legs and I'm just connected right here to him, then I'm not bouncing because